We're in Quito, first night. And we look straight down. And oh dear, I just lost my camcorder. Oh. Here we have Deborah Smith in her very fancy hat. Yeah. And as we pan around, we have the other members of our cruise. No, this isn't a cruise, whatever it is. Tour. Bus tour. Yeah.
But that happened so fast at the time that the city was not prepared and they had problems with it. Running water with electricity there. Now it's working well. Now to the left, Quito, it's considered the important city because here is the where the government has their place. The main ministries, all the things related with government are located in Quito. Quito, it's a place that was inhabited by people already 1,000 years before Christ. There was little groups around here. Then in the 1500s, after Jesus, there was a big population of Indian group that we call Quitus. And from these people, we get the name Quito. That means a place in the center or a place in the middle. It seems they decided to build a city around here because the main mountain around Quito, we have our own volcano. That's our own volcano, Pichincha, and has like 3 peaks. You can see the antennas on one side, the other one, and in the back there is like more rocks. That's where we have the crater of the volcano that's still active. The last eruption was 1999, but the volcano is going down because the last eruption just was like a mushroom that came from inside with a lot of gases and smoke and ashes that went flowing around the city. That was the bad part of the last eruption. Then if you start to walk down from the Pichincha, you can see Quito. Down there, you see first close to us is the old town. That's the old city. If you keep looking to the north, that is in that part, you see the modern city. It's like the modern part of Quito. We have towers of a big church over there. That's the border. We call that church. Some of you will be able to see it here. There's like a dome or a big cathedral. That's La Basilica. It's a neo-Gothic church. That's the border between the old town and the new town. That's the Basilica. And to the other side, here you have the Virgin Mary of Quito with wings. The artist who made this one tried to represent Mary ascending to the heaven, but also in the last book of the Bible, Revelation book, chapter 12, there is a description of a woman fighting with a...
So we're at the top of the hill outside Quito, noticing that there were a lot of eucalyptus trees here which weren't native. They came from Australia 200 years ago. That's the big volcano, as she was saying. I'm just doing a panoramic now. There's Deb. Deb acting the non-tourist, of course. There's no, we've got to go around here. Are you going to stub your toe like in Malaysia?
I hope not.
Oh, exactly. More of Quito. this is not pictures, this is video. It's going to be on YouTube. There's one of our travelling companions, Mr. Bob Ryan, enjoying the view. And here's Deb taking a picture of me taking a camcording. Yeah.
Church service going on. This is Sunday after all in a very Catholic country.
Yeah. Just going to show the street vendors over here and give it a miss with this. Street vendors off in the distance.
The waterfall.
We're just looking at the other end of Quito at the moment. We're about to head back to the bus.
Get some sheep.
What? Where? Oh! Sheep grazing right here.
What's that about?
But this street, as you can see, it's a new. So it was a normal street with traffic, but they decided to make more like a pedestrian area where the families that live around can have a walk. Sometimes we have artist presentations or parades here. This street is 24 de Mayo, 23rd May, for Independence Day. So we're going to have independence celebrations next week, okay? Because we were a colony and so you can see it's still a big extension around here, okay? So that was like when the city was founded, and there you have San Francisco de Quito, that is the complete name of the city. And in Quito you will find a lot of churches. Not a big extension, but almost every corner there is a church because the people, it seems, is very religious originally. So all the religious communities like the Franciscan. Now in the late time we have some Chinese stores too. So they came here and they start to put their little stores here. So they are like a little bit like in some areas. But if not, most of them belongs to families here that have been living here and have owned the stores for a long time. They use the second part, they have the store in the lower part, and the second part they leave. And some part of the second part they got.
There's memories of Amsterdam here with the bikes taking over.
Yeah.
That's the first one down here.
We're panning around live. We have our intrepid travellers. Deb, we'll get a little bit of Mexican, whatever that is, doing the cha-cha here.
City. Back there we have the presidential house or government house that will be something like the White House in the United States. To the left we have the main cathedral of Quito, which is like the the main authority of the church, and next to that we have an old hotel that's still working now. What is important, so when the Spaniards came, they ordered to build the cities in South America this way. Wherever you go in South America, Central America, there's going to be always this plaza or park or zócalo, some people call, and around there they one where they have the special moments and one where they have the laundry, the animals and things like that. This of course has been restored. Now we have the ceiling that protects the place from the rain. But the idea was like to have a place where they can meet. In this case, in the Bishop's Palace, is now bother me later on. It's because for security you should be like when somebody from here, you know, they really get mad at us. Okay.
Here we go.
Then there goes. Okay, no problem. You have to make the appointment and you don't know when it's going to be. That's why we don't do that every day. But the presidential house was built in the 1600s and took a long way to have it as we can see it now. Officially was used by the Spanish government and then they changed it to the presidential house. The presidents have the right to live here or to do that in their private home. Rafael Correa decided to live in the new town in his own house and he comes here just to Chile. So it's something very important here for representing like people in America.
Condo.
On the lower part, we have a sun that represents the equator line across our country. And those Greek line letters are representing the other parallels. Then we have the representation of a big mountain that represents Chimborazo, that is the highest mountain in Ecuador. It's about 20,000 feet of altitude. They have closed maybe because of the market today, so we won't be able to see, but we have still San Francisco that it's open usually. But if you see the front, it's very nice, decorated. You can see there the Barroco style. The Barroco style is the main style. It belongs to the Jesuits. That's one of the important communities that came to Quito in the 1600s. The construction took about 106 years.
San Francisco Plaza?
Yes.
Thank you.
Gold leaf. That's one of the main techniques used in Ecuador in the churches in the 16th, 17th, and 1800s. And you're going to see sculptures made in the 17th and 1800s. And people have what we call the Quito Civil Park. The artists learned from the Franciscan priests, from the Italian priests that came to South America, and they copied paintings and sculptures that were made already in Europe, representing Mary, Jesus, the
Que los elementos de un carrito de supermercado, o como quien usa los ingredientes que desee para preparar una receta de cocina. Caminando hacia Dios, su encuentro definitivo con Él, que tendrá lugar al final de los tiempos, o nos llega el momento de nuestra muerte. ¿Quién ha nacido del Espíritu Santo? Además siente la...
They were fighting, they killed their enemies, and they cut it head off, and they make it small.
Now it's been elaborate.
Burial, yes. Ooh. This is the representation of the indigenous burial site.
So we bury them with food.
All their belongings, possessions, offerings for the afterlife, because it's what they believe in, life after death. But do you know about... Yeah. I know maybe in your countries the stones with the sticks could be used like a sundial, but in the middle of the world, because the position of the sun for us is totally different.
All right.
So it was used by the native people for making studies about sun and shadows. Yeah, so the question is, do you know maybe what happened to this shadow twice a year in the middle of the world? The sun comes down and the shadow will be here. Those 2 days for you are called equinox. It's when all over, 12 and 12 hours. Because sometimes in summer you got long days or in winter short days. But only on those 2 days for you it's equinox. I mean equal. For us, every day. So for us, equinox in the middle of the world is no shadows. So, have you ever paid attention to your shadow at home before, maybe? Have you? A little bit? So can you see something different than your shadow now?
No?
Short. Because at the same time your shadow will be 3 or 4 times this length. Depends how far north or south you go. You never do this to see the sun. The sun for us is almost on top, and that's why we are the same as our watches. Because this one is giving you the precise time. Only 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4 seconds, not 24. That's why every 4 years there is one extra day. This year, February. No, this is clockwise and this is counterclockwise. So that's why wind and water are going in different directions. So just in case, this is in physics, it's called the Coriolis force or the Coriolis effect. But if you want to see the Coriolis force, you need to be miles away north or miles away south. And we always study this one in the wrong way, north and south. But actually north is that way and south is that way. So on the space we are a little bit tilted, and from the north to Ecuador you're never coming down. You're always coming up to Ecuador because you're coming to the bulge of the earth. Yes, so when the earth is spinning, on the line we're going the fastest, and this speed is making wind and water going like this. One force to the north, one to the south. Right. So tornadoes and hurricanes in the northern hemisphere going to the left, in the south cyclones going to the right, but in the middle we don't have anything. So it's what we're going to do the example, and it's what we're going to do, see with the water. You ready? Please come around the sink. Salud. Okay, ready? I need you to pay attention on top, please. Yes, ready everybody? Yes. With the video? Yes?
Okay.
Okay, look on top. 1, 2, and 3. So what's happening?
Straight down.
Straight down.
Yeah.
If you do this in other places, you always see the swirl, but on the line, nothing. Right? Yeah. This was in the middle. Now let's go to south, the more water. Okay, please. Everybody can see it? Yes? 1, 2, and 3. In Australia, cyclones will go.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, in the south. Now, let's go to Japan. Ready? Okay, come a little bit here, please. A little bit
Now we're
more.
in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. Good, cool. There you go.
And in Japan, it's going.
The other way.
Okay, counterclockwise.
Good.
Alright, here we go.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Woo! Nice. Very smooth, Dave. That's not bad.
More drink.
Go back.
Okay, my
Then
friend.
you have to try it a
Oh, here, this is cool.
That
Oh,
there in the
the-
corner, guinea pigs.
It's not much meat.
Yeah, the noise they make. Good. So that's what we call them. Yeah, so if you see the menu, CUY.
Once again, welcome to this exhibition that is going to show us a little bit about the cacao production here in Ecuador, and of course the process for the chocolate production. So we're going to learn how to make that. Where are you from?
US.
From the States?
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay.
It's in Australia.
States and Australia, okay? So this is a map of Ecuador, and the little lights you see here and there are the places where we mostly produce cacao. That's the original name of the fruit, whereas in the African plain cacao, they just wait 2 or 3 years. That's one of the reasons, of course, our cacao is more expensive. After we pick the fruit up, then we're ready to produce chocolate, and we're gonna check that over here. So your pictures look better, okay? Let me cut it a little bit more. And then, like I said, if you want, you can taste it also. Tastes very good. It's like a tropical fruit. But then we're gonna see that it's nothing like chocolate. No. So you see? Full of these white beans.
Right there is the old center of the world. It wasn't strictly speaking correct for GPS, so that's why we went to the new one. It was only 200 meters away though, so they were close. I want to get you in there. Live shot. The sisters. Are you having fun, Donna?
Yes, yes, dear.
You'll like this one, hey, Donna.
In 18th century, especially this big one. Superstition, the person who was involved during for this construction, the president of Ecuador, he was Gabriel Garcia Moreno. He said, okay, we need just to continue this construction of the church, but we don't have to finish. And the people say, why not? Because if we finish this church, will be the end of the earth.
Oh.
We have about 6 volcanoes, okay?
Yeah.
But middle right side is the Ruco Pichincha, and middle left side is the Guagua Pichincha. The names is in Quechua. Ruco is old, and Guagua means baby. This is beautiful. Yeah.
It is.
This revolution. The artist, he was from Italy, Durini, and he brought the granite, the marble from Italy as well. But what it represent? Lion in red, okay? The lion represent the Spanish people. The weapons, the cross, the flags represent Spain and Ecuador. The weapons represent the Pichincha battle, the Pichincha war. 24 together. That represent the condor bird in the big look.
In Venezuela goes down to Chile, and each area looks a bit different. In Ecuador we have 2 ridges or 2 cordilleras, the west and the east, and to travel through the mountains is not always so easy. From Quito to Cochesqui is about 40 miles, but because we have to go through the mountains, it takes us about 2 hours to get there. Just from now at the door, you cannot leave the bus, okay? It's a bit dangerous.
Yeah. This hill and all these rocks, Donna Ryan came up on. Smile, please.
Her feet are smiling.
When they go
all the way around. So, but I think
There are
we're
lots of
trying
kinds
to
of
make a
meat, eh?
shortcut.
They have the Australian flag and all that. And I-
Smile, smile, and I'm not paying the $10, all right?
I shall break your camera.
This area, and the people from here, they welcome you and thanks for visit the ruins of Kocheski.
El parque arqueológico está realizando algunos trabajos en algunas áreas y una de ellas es la conservación de las pirámides de Kocheski.
So now at the moment, what they are doing in this part, besides investigation, is the conservation of the pyramids. So they are trying to restore them or try to find out the way they were originally built.
En una superficie, una extensión de 84 hectáreas, vamos a conocer 15 pirámides y 20.
Ecuadorians is very important because it's the base of the nationality of the country. The Incas for us were like foreigners.
Corresponde al periodo de integración de la historia ecuatoriana, va desde el año 500 después de Cristo hasta 1500 hasta la conquista española.
So they used to start like 500 years after Jesus, the construction here, even they were living before, until the Inca time, but it was in the 1400s.
Todo este sector de las 80. ¿Dónde están las pirámides?
Where are the pyramids?
Esta lomita que está aquí, está ahí, es el cuerpo de una pirámide, la número 5.
This is the part of the pyramid that they call the five